back to it. Is there anything with Aaron that you're like, I regret doing that, or I take it back? Is there anything?
Maybe I'd have to go through it. You mean like as far as jokes? I just like
no, not jokes.
Like something and it doesn't land. I mean, yeah, that's gonna happen.
No, for example, like you kind of you didn't direct your audience to report his channel, but there was kind of an.
I think I did. I think I actually did.
All right. Well, there you go. All right. So you did direct, like stuff like that. Like, would you take shit like that back to be like, there's no need to report?
Maybe depending on the day. I don't know. There's something about like you go to a guy and you're like, hey, you're doing something highly illegal here, and he goes, "Phew, I am not," and you go like, "All right," like
yeah, like he is
telling a guy, and yeah, he thought he could cover his ass by. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not allowed to give entries to a drawing. Then I'll give 1 million entries to a drawing." It's just like that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen someone do in my life. So like,
I know it was an idea.
Look, do I want him to lose his livelihood? Actually, no. But that's not what again, it's like the prison thing everybody's stroking themselves to. Melton's going to prison. Nothing works like that. He would have got contacted by an agency. He would have got shut down from doing it. He might have had to pay a fine, or no one was going to jail or losing their show or, whatever. He's probably more in danger of actually YouTube violations of policy than state FCC, Federal Trade Commission violations. So I think he's more likely to get shut down. Again, every one of those Midland Armory ads, he's got hundreds of shows with Midland Armory ads, and he got 1 strike for 1. Well, he could get 200 more strikes for the rest of them that are still up on his channel. And I'm not winking.
I don't know what this actually means. From numero uno Josh Denny fan, ask Melton about Stephanie Burns, please.
It's an ex-girlfriend from 12 years ago. What do you want to know? He keeps asking for her number and stuff. He's just being weird. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I've never heard of.
I dated her 12 years. Is a girl I dated 12 years ago. And
is that the one that did like the props and stuff that Red Bar went off?
No,
not the same one. Oh.
That was Christina.
Yeah.
So to sum up, we don't want to PDF Melton's kid, or not Melton's kids, Steel Toes kids.
Wow.
Nick is just as bad as Aaron. But that's one of the things I wanted to mention, because there's a guy.
I don't know if Nick is just as bad as Aaron. And you asked, one of the questions you asked, I wish you would ask me. I think on one of your last shows was, do you think all this steel toe piling on is going too far? Do you think it's too much? You asked.
Well, that was literally what I was about to say, because there's a guy out there called Cheese who actually looks like he would be called that, believe it or not.
Yeah.
He has literally gone to Steel Toes outside his house.
I think that was a bit easy.
No, he actually did go.
Did he?
Yeah, and he would like take photographs and all this type of shit.
Yeah, but Aaron knows that guy and he's friends with him.
Really?
Yeah, that's the guy that showed up. That's the guy that showed up at the boxing ring when Ethan Ralph was supposed to show up that night, but the fans showed up, and then Aaron let him into the gym. Remember? That was Cheese.
Yeah.
He's also the guy that Ian Hawke and all these BYB guys are going after, saying he, I don't know, sexually assaulted a woman who's another fan of Steel Toe. I don't know what's going on in Minnesota. I don't have.
Yeah, the word is that there was at some party on the dance floor and he felt her tits or something.
But Aaron sticks up for him. Aaron's his buddy, and he donates to the show all the time.
See, this is all this information that because I don't pay attention to this shit outside.
Yeah, Aaron's been talking to him recently in his chat, being like, "Hey, it's my buddy Cheese, and Cheese gives money," and Aaron's on that side. Aaron's on Team Cheese.
Well, fuck me, not by Aaron or by Nick Ricciardo. That's completely fucking insane. Then, so maybe Aaron may actually be as bad as people are saying. That's fucked up.
Careful, Husey. We still might be able to get him back on his Husey alone.
We're orange pilling people today.
Yeah. But Husey, you made a comment like you're like, I'm hashtag Team Aaron and all that shit. Like there's no team. There's no teams, Husey. Like I like Nick Recator. I just find him boring. I'm not interested in Nick Recator. I find Aaron funny to laugh at. You know what I mean? Like, there's too many people like making teams and deciding you're on one side. Like, Patrick, I know you're like, I guess, using Nick Recator at the moment to get as much as you can for Aaron, but like for you, it's not really about Nick, is it?
I don't even like. The thing about it is, like, I just don't know a lot about Nick, and everyone who seems to be really upset about Nick is upset that he portrayed himself as this trad dad who's now it's come out that he likes to swing and do drugs and kind of be a degen. And if I'd said I'd never done cocaine, I'd just be a fucking hypocrite. If I pretended cocaine didn't fucking rule, I'd be a hypocrite. So like, is Nick boring? Maybe. Is Nick a bad guy? Maybe. I don't know enough about him, but like, again, does this guy deserve to never see his children again and never have his kids again if he's made steps to improve his life and stuff? What's better for those kids? You know? So that's where I'm at. And would I have a beer with Nick if he came out to Hackamania like he's joked about doing? Like, absolutely. Would I have a beer with April? Would I apologize for going after April so hard to her face? Probably. When they were together, it was hard to like separate it because, like I said, like Aaron's sitting here lying to everybody and she's sitting here co-signing it all. So eventually, once they break and she starts speaking out against him as he's done against her, everything he said about his ex-wife, it's like awful. Like there's no joy or good memories he ever really goes over. Maybe while he was pretending she was upstairs, but since she left in the divorce, once she signed those divorce papers, her smelled, she wasn't good on the show. She's stupid. It's like, okay, well.
So what was he in court for? Was for the April stuff?
When?
Yeah, because the photographs of him going into a court and then he was arrested. What was that over?
That was for the. I don't remember because the violation of the HRO and the Kayla Recaita felony charges happened within like a week or two. So I don't remember. He had to go one week twice.
The video and pictures of him going into court, that was the HRO violation.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And then the revenge was the internet, the Zoom meeting for the arraignment or whatever the fuck it was, and going to jail for the revenge porn. Yeah. And they were like, 2 weeks apart, I think.
So then why is he called a woman beater?
Because when Ashley filed the restraining order on Aaron originally, this was in December, January of 2023, 2024. So right at the beginning of this year. Aaron got served in January. Aaron and April got served with a harassment restraining order from Ashley. In the documents for that paperwork as supporting evidence for why Aaron was dangerous and she needed a restraining order, she included private texts April sent her, which Citizen M has retweeted out today and recreated in a more clear form. But she had in those court documents private text conversations from 2022 that alleged he had cut off her airway, choked her out, slammed her head, and that he had done this for months. He had done it multiple times for months. So she must have been
a really annoying woman to deserve that. Yeah.
But like he does this spin now where he's like, well, April's a bitter ex-wife, so of course she's alleging all that. But those texts are from 2022 when they weren't even married 1 year yet. He's so full of shit. He's so full of shit.
When he says about ex-wives lying, Patrick, I actually think he's breaking his HRO when he does that because I think he's talking that Ashley's lying. I don't think he's saying April's lying.
Well, he says that HRO is not in effect anymore, and he talks about Ashley all the time now. So again, I don't know.
But what's interesting, like you said, April and Aaron were served with a HRO, right?
Yep.
They both broke it together. Why wasn't April in court as well?
I don't know. I don't know.
She's ugly.
She probably, because that was like May 23rd or whatever the date of the paperwork was filed against Aaron, she knew by that point that they were divorced. And she knew that woman would never be around her kids or on the air again. And if you go
Yeah.
read those text messages, they say, like, you're one of my best friends. Like, they were friends. Like, they were good friends. And Aaron ultimately has control of what goes out over the airwaves on Steel Toe. Like, April didn't have any choice.